Hello everyone, welcome back to our Java tutorial series. In today's video, we are going to learn about the string class in Java. So, this is one of the most important and frequently used class in Java programming. So, by the end of this video, you will understand what a string is, how to create string objects, what are string literals, what string immutability means, and commonly used string methods. And yeah, so let's get started. So, what is a string? String is a sequence of character. String is a sequence of character and it is one of the class provided by Java. It is used to store textual data. That means we'll be storing textual data inside string data type. So a string is a sequence of character used to store textual information. So what do we mean by textual? It can be anything like name, address, or anything, messages, and any other types of data. So in Java, strings are represented using string class. So this is built-in class provided by Java. So string is a sequence of characters, or you can say collection of characters. And we have seen it is used to store textual data. So these are the examples. String is the class name, name is variable name, and this is sequence of characters, textual data. So there are two common ways to create string objects. So first is, two ways to create string objects. So first one is using string literal, and the second method is using string object. So what is string literal and how do we create using string literal, and what is string object, what is the syntax? Let's see. So let's say, for example, string, let's say name equals to wiki, and let's say string new or some, say str tr2 equals to fast. Say new string and fast. So these are the two ways to create string to initialize. So this first one is using string literal. This is string literal. So in string literal, as we can see, we are not using any new keyword here. We are directly assigning the value sequence of character to the variable. While in second example, string str2 equals to new, we are using this keyword new. So as we all know, whenever we use new keyword, an object is created in the heap memory. What type of object? String. Here it is provided string class. That's why in this example, string type of object will be created with the value past which we have provided. So think of it like, so we have here stack and this is heap memory and this is method area. Okay, so these are the memories, different memory area. So we will take first example, that is string name equals to wiki. So what will happen in the wiki? So name will be stored in the stack memory area and wiki will be stored here in the heap memory area. And name will be pointing to this one. And for another example, str2, it will be created in the stack area. And since we are using new keyword, so here object will be created of string class. So here so there is cp, we call it as class pointer. Okay, class pointer will do nothing. So since in this line we are using string class, okay, so first step is whatever dot class files that will be loaded in the method area. So string dot class will be already available before execution of this line statement. So now while object creating, class pointer will point to that particular class, that is string dot class, and it will have the value of the string. So this is object and it will have some memory address or memory location, we can say. So that address or location will be stored inside str2, address or location, whatever is good. So that based on the address and location, it will point to this particular object. So that's how internally it is working. So if you are using new keyword, means it will create an object with the class pointer pointing to particular class, that is string dot class, and this object will be having some memory address or memory location that will be stored in the stack variable, that is str2, and that's how str2 will point to that object. So we will talk more about this literal, but for now we should understand this statement, how this statement is getting executed, and what are the things happening in the memory area. So let's talk about literal, what is happening. So we will look into string literal. So we have stack and heap and method area. Okay. Now let's take example. Let's say string str1 equals to wiki. Again string str2 equals to wiki. So in both the strings the values are same. Okay. So for now we will look into first statement. So wiki will be stored here. Okay. And str1 will be stored here. And since this is string.class, will be loaded in the method area. Now str1 is pointing to this wiki. So this is literal. This is not an object because we have not used anywhere new keyword. So this is what literal. So for literal, we have a different memory area in the heap memory. We call it as string literal pool. So this box you are seeing, right? This box inside heap memory area is string literal pool, where only literal values will be getting stored. And literal will be stored here with the different like whichever string is initialized multiple times. So here in this case we have initialized 2 times. So those kind of repetitive literals will be stored in the string literal pool. So in the heap memory only, there will be different area for object creation. So let's say this is the area in the heap memory for object creation. And this is another memory inside heap memory, that is string literal pool, is specifically designed for the literal values. Now let's talk about the second statement. String str2 equals to wiki. Again the variable value is same. So for memory optimization, what Java will do, it will not create another object or literal with the same value in the heap memory. So what it will do, it will utilize the existing literal present in the string literal pool with the same value, and it will create another variable, that is str2, and it will point to same literal. So that's how memory optimization will be done. So for both variable str1 and str2, it will point to same literal value. So these are the variable names. Now suppose if I write one statement, system dot out dot print, and inside print I am writing say str1 equals to str2. So tell me whether this condition will be true or false. So as we already know, the memory address or memory location of this place will be assigned to this one. So location, memory location. Okay. Now we are doing, now these both variables are pointing to same memory location. Now we are trying to do, we are checking equality check str1 equals to str2. That means both are pointing to the same variable, so it will return true. So this is an important concept of string literal. So if we are defining the same value without using new keyword, so then it will be literal. And if we are using multiple times, then for that new variable, it will refer to same memory location. And if we try to check, we can verify this thing by checking equality of both the variables. Then since it is pointing to same memory location, it will return true. We will see this thing in IntelliJ. We will verify the output. So this was string literal. Now we will see string object. So string object. So again we will be having, let's say, stack and heap. You might be thinking I am repeating this again and again, but believe me, this is like very basic, and knowing this will be helpful for clarity of a string class, and in further lectures we'll be solving multiple coding questions related to strings. So there you don't need to huddle more. You'll be like getting the things very easily if you are able to catch these things, because this is like internal things, whatever it is happening. So let's take example string str1 equals to new. So since we are learning string object, an object is created by using new keyword. Okay, so new string, and inside parenthesis we'll be providing value. Okay, so wiki. So I'm very bad at taking examples strings, like I'm taking same value. So str2 equals to new string, again I'm taking same value. Okay, now what will happen? Let's see the first statement. What will happen in the memory area? So before execution of this class, what classes are involved in this statement? What classes are involved? String, right? So those classes will be loaded in the method area. So here string dot class will be sitting. Okay. Now since we are using new keyword, so here an object will be created. Okay, this is string object, and this is CP. CP is what? Class pointer, which will be pointing to that class. Why? Because we are using string in this statement. Then what will be the inside object? The value, that is wiki. Okay, so this is the right hand side, and what is the left hand side? What is the variable name? This will be sitting in the stack. And what will be the value of stack variable? So whatever the memory location of this object, address or location, so this address or location will be stored in the str1, so that it can point to this object. Okay, and let's move on to next statement execution. So first step is string class. So it will check whether in the method area we have string class or not. So yes, it is already there, so no need to load again. Okay, then we are using new. So as we all know, whenever we are using new, the object will be created. Okay, so every time we are using new, every time the object will be created. So again an object will be created since we are using the new keyword. Again this CP class pointer will point to string class. Why? Because we are using string classes in this statement. Then what will be the value? That will be, let's change the value. Here we'll use, let's say, fast. So fast. Okay, so this is what? String object. So this will be also having some address or location. So this will be stored in the variable str2. Okay, str2 address or location of which object? Of this object, fast. So this is the memory, internal memory representation of these two statements. Now the question comes, okay, before question, what is the reference variable? So let's move one by one. So this is what? Data type. Data type string. This is what? Variable name. What is the variable name? str1. And this is what? This is whole object. Object creation using new keyword. Which class object? String class object. What is the value? Wiki. Okay. Now this is a reference variable. Why we are calling it as a reference variable? Because this str1 is referring to an object. So whichever variable refers to an object, we call it as a reference variable. Let me write here. Variable pointing to or referring to an object, no matter what object it is. Referring to any object is a reference variable. So I repeat, variable referring to an object is reference variable. So likewise, here str2 is referring to this object. So str2 is again reference variable which is referring to an object. And in this case, what is an object? String object. String object. So str1 and str2 both are reference variable. Okay, I know this might look messy, but for understanding, we should understand the things. So reference variables are str1 and str2. Okay. Now my question is, I am asking question whether str1 equals to str2. So whether this condition will give me true or false. So based on current understanding, try to think str1 double equals to str2, it will give true or false. So before moving it to true or false, first evaluate what is str1. str1 is referring to this object. That means str is having address of this object, and str2 is what? Equals to address of this object first. So str1 is holding address of the key and str2 is holding address or position of first. Now we are doing the equality check of both, but this value and this value are different, right? Since objects are sitting in a different position in the heap memory, correct? So it will give true or false. It will give false. Now, I hope you understood. We are checking the equality of this variable sitting in stack, and stack variable holds the address or location of the object in the heap. So since there are two objects, so this value will be different. That's why we are returning false. Now we have one built-in method. I'm writing here. Don't assume like this is in method area. Just because of space, I'm writing here str1 dot equals str2. So this condition will give me true or false. So this is built-in method of string class equals method, which will check the equality of object. So here what we were checking str1 double equals to str2. Here we were checking the reference equality within the stack what it is holding double equals to. And when we check dot equals method, then it checks what it is referring to. It is referring to object. So it will check the equality of this object. So since these are two objects and we are checking equality, it will return false. Okay, enough talking. Let's move on to IntelliJ and see some examples. So let's write string str1 equals to, let's say, hello. Now let's take another example, string str2 equals to new string and set bracket will be having hello. Okay, so what is happening in these two lines? So just now we have seen, if you are using new keyword, then this is what? String object, right? String object. And if you are not using new keyword, we are simply assigning a value, then what it is? This is string literal. So we have seen just now the memory management for both string literal and object. So let's go one by one. So for string literal, what we will be having in the stack? We'll be having in the stack str1. And what will be in the heap? Heap will be having hello. So in the heap memory area only, we have two different areas. One is for object and another one is for literal. And the specific name we have given to that area for literal is string literal pool. So this will be going in the literal space, okay? Heap memory area. And what will be present in the method area? String class. So same way we will do here. Stack will be having str2 and heap will be having object. Okay, object with value hello. Okay, and method area will be same. Okay, method area string class. Okay, now we know this thing. So let's check our understanding. Let's say I will print str1 equals to str2. Now tell me what will be the output based on the understanding of memory area. Here most of the people will think, okay, this is hello and the same value we are having hello, then it will be equal. No, it doesn't work like that. We should be thinking in the way of memory management. What is happening background, how it is. So here what we are actually trying to do, first of all think what it is. What is this expression? str1 equals to str2. What is str1? str1 is what? str1 is sitting in the stack memory area. And what is the value of this one? The address or location of this literal, whichever it is residing in the heap memory. And the same way str2 sitting in the stack memory area. And what is the value of str2? str2 is holding the address or location of the object sitting in the heap memory. So it is holding address of object. Which object? This object. Same way here no object. Okay, here it is directly holding a address of hello. Okay, now tell me str1 is holding address of hello and str2 is holding address of the object. Why we are calling object? Because we are using new keyword. So here we are trying to check equality of these two variables. That means we are checking the equality of the address of these two things. And as we can see, the address is different. Here address is hello and here address is object. So both address will be different in the heap memory area. So it will return false. Let's verify. So in the output, we can see value false. So these are like very famous question for interviews and like solving coding problems. Now another statement, str1 dot equals str2. Let me comment this first statement. So this was checking reference equality, okay? Reference equality. We know, right, what is reference variable? str2 is reference variable. Why? Because it is referring to object. Here it is reference variable. It is referring to literal. This is literal. Here address of object is the address of literal. Hello. Okay. So both address of literal and address of object are different. That's why it is false. But here we are checking content equality. Don't worry, I will tell you what is the content. So str1 is the reference variable and it is referring to literal. Same way, str2 is a reference variable and it is referring to object. So this equals method, it is saying str1 is referring to something and str2 is referring to something. So whether that something and something are equal or not. Okay, let me repeat. str1 is referring to literal. Okay. And str2 is referring to object. So this equals method is asking this literal and this object are equal or not. We call it as content. Content means, so whatever this reference variable is referring, that is content. Whatever str2 is referring to, that is content. So we are checking the content equality. So content equality. Now tell me, this is literal and this is object. So both are sitting in the different memory area or in the same memory area. So in the heap memory only, this will be sitting in the literal pool and this will be sitting in the object area. But it is asking for content. So this will return true. Why? Because the content is hello and the content is hello. Let's verify it. So in the output, we can see true. So even it is literal, we will see the value. What is the value? Hello. This is object. No doubt it is object. But inside the object, what is the value? What is the content? That is hello. So that's why it is returning true. So we should keep in mind this thing. Equals to check reference equality and dot equals method check content equality. Let's read another topic. We'll comment this out. Okay, Let me define another variable. String str equals to, let's say, Java, and str dot, we have one method called concat. Okay, concat will just append. I hope you understand. Append means it will just add in the last of the string. So here what will be the output? Java programming. Okay, concat means it will add from where? From the last, not from the first. It will add whatever, like programming, it will add from the last. So here we have given one space, that's why it is, there is a space in between. Then now I will print str. What will be the output of this one? This string, what will be the output? Tell me. So this is a string, okay? A string is a reference variable, it is pointing to this literal Java. Simple, okay? In the next statement, with the same string, it is concatenating programming. So we are forming another string. This is new string, okay? By concatenating the Java and the programming, it formed another string, and this is altogether new string. Another, let me type another string. It is nothing to do with what this string is. So in this line number 29, altogether different string has created, that is Java programming. And this string we are not storing in any variable, right? We are not doing like this. String str1 equals to, we are not doing like this. If you are doing like this, means this Java programming will be stored in the variable str1. But we are not doing anything, just concatenating and just leaving there only. We are not using it. This is different, another string, and this is different string. Now we are trying to print str. So what will be the output? Output will be Java only. Why Java? Because in this line number 29, we are not manipulating the existing value of Java. This line concat method will create altogether different string which will not be stored in the str. This will create altogether different string. This is nothing to do with the existing str. So let's verify what I am saying. So see, in the output we can see it is Java. It is not Java programming. So this concept we call is string immutability. Immutability means we cannot modify the string once initialized. We cannot modify this Java. If we try to modify like concat or something else, then it will create altogether new string. That is immutability. So string is immutable. We cannot change the value of a string. If we try to change the value of a string, it will give us altogether another string. That is nothing to do with the previous string. Okay. And if we are trying to print original string, it will be as it is. That's why we are calling it as immutability. This means that once a string object is created, its value cannot be changed. And when we perform any operation such as concatenation, we call it as concatenation. So Java create a new string object. This is new string object instead of modifying the existing one. Okay, so we have different built-in methods provided by string. Let's see one by one. So string str equals to Java. Okay, now we have one property, one method called length. So I will print str.length. So by name it is clear, it will print the value of length. So this is the string and its length it will print. Let's verify 4. So since we have 4 characters and string is a sequence of characters, so length is 4. Okay, string also starts from, index will start from 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So the length method returns the total number of characters present in the string. Now let me comment this line. Another method is, let's say, str.char@, let's say 1. So this is the string which we have defined as Java, and char@ is built-in method which will give the character at particular position. And since it starts with 0, index 0, so whatever index we will provide, so at that particular index, it will return the character. So let's say I have written 1. So 0, 1, it will return A. Since it starts from 0, so it will return A. Let's verify. This method is very useful when we'll solve some coding problems related to string. So we should know this method, char@ length. Okay. So let us change. Instead of 1, we'll write 0. So it should give J. See. So whatever index we'll provide, at that particular index, it will return the character. So the char@ method returns the character located at a specific index. And always remember, index starts from 0. Now let's take another example. See, the number of examples will do, the clarity will be increased. Okay, string s1 equals to, let's say, Java, and string s2 equals to Java. So now let me print s1 dot equals s2. So similar example we have done earlier. So this will check the content equality. Now think of these two statements and tell me what are the contents of these two variables and whether those contents are equal or not. If these both content are equal, then it will return true or else false. So as we can see, the content are equal Java, so it should return true. Let's verify. So in the output we can see it is true. So the content are same, that is Java. So when comparing string contents, we should use equals method. It compares the actual value stored inside the string. Okay. Now let's take string first name equals to Java, and let's say string last name equals to tutorial. Now we already know one method, concatenation, right? We can use that one. So first name, okay, let's use concat last name. So this will give the Java tutorial. We are just concatenating, okay? So Java tutorial. It was simple. Now we can do another way also. We will take another string result equals to, and we can write first name plus, we'll give space, then plus, and then last name. So using plus also we can write, and we can result we can print. Okay, we'll remove this one. So this is another way of concatenating strings, okay, using plus symbols. You can give n number of plus and you can write any number of strings ABC plus XYZ. So using plus symbol you can concatenate a number of strings. Let's verify. So here you can see Java, then space, then tutorial, then ABC, then XYZ. So concatenation means combining multiple strings into a single string. The plus operator, this plus operator is used for joining. So let's take one last example. String str equals to Java programming. Okay. Now let's say str dot contains Java. Contains will return the index. Let's see. Oh, it will return the Boolean type. Contains means this keyword, whatever keyword we are writing, so that is existing on the particular string or not, it will return Boolean type. Okay. Another example, str dot starts with Java. This will also return Boolean. Okay. Let me comment first one. Starts with means that particular string is starting with that string or not. So since Java is starting with Java, it is returning true. By name it is clear. If we look at the method name, it is very simple. Str dot ends with let's say ing. Oh, ing. Ends with means the string is ending with this keyword which we have provided, so it will be true. Let's verify. See, this is true. Another one important method, and this will be useful in most of the cases, str dot substring, let's say 5. So we have index, right? Index will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at fifth index we have the value p. So substring means it will pick string from the index value. So 5, it will create another string starting with index 5 and it will go up to the end. It will go up to the end. So the output will be starting from 5th index, that is P, and it will go up to end. Let's verify. See the output. So substring is used as a method to take a part of the string. It can be anywhere. We can provide this is C, this is begin index, okay. We can provide both begin index, last index also. So I think these examples are enough to understand the different built-in methods of string class. So this memory structure, I hope you understood how it is working. So this is for literal. This diagram is specifically for literal, understanding literal pool. Okay. So this is a stack. Think of this is a stack. And these are the variable name. Variable 1, variable 2. And content is same. String value. Content is same for both the variables. This is variable 1, variable 2. And both are referring to same value. And this is string literal pool. Okay, see, string literal pool. This is string literal pool. And where it is? It is present in the heap memory. So string literal pool, okay. String literal pool, also we will be having list of variables, right? So this is one value, let's say another value with key, another value, like that we will be having multiple values in this inside string literal pool. So this needs to be stored somewhere, right? So we have another constant pool, so there is constant entry. So this is the concept for literals, string literals. I hope it is clear. And also we have seen different string methods, different useful string methods. So length, to calculate length of the string, caret, to returns a character at particular index, and to uppercase. It will convert the string to uppercase. Uppercase means capital letters A, B, C, and to lowercase will convert to lowercase, small letter A, B, C. And trim will remove an extra space. So let's say if we have string space A, B, C, then again space. So this is what trim method. So the output will be A, B, C. These spaces will be gone. Only value will be having. That means removes extra spaces. Let's quickly summarize what we have learned so far. So we learned what a string is, how to create string objects, the concept of immutability, and commonly used string methods. So we have seen string is used to store text data. Immutability we have seen. And string can be created using literals and string objects using new keyword. And different methods, length, caret, equals, substring. So that's all for this video. I hope this tutorial helped you understand strings in Java. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.